I think India's the women participation to work has finally, it's still low, but it has moved up after decades. So that's a very important development that had come through. Sir, India-US relationship. Now, this is the most critical element of the bloc. As you said, that the world is unraveling and a lot of churn is waiting or is happening and probably waiting to happen. Now, how do you expect this relationship to grow? Very honestly, this relationship has been taking a different or higher trajectory over the last decade, or I mean, since the NPT, we can say. And how would it, what role should it play in the Indo-Pacific? In fact, we are not hearing much about Indo-Pacific Economic Forum or IPEF. What would be the future role of Quad? How do you expect it to evolve?
Well, having been a first-hand witness to the India-US relationship, I would say this is a remarkable story of how two countries that are vibrant democracies, share similar values and principles, have combined and have come together to take that partnership forward in a way that was not imaginable 15, 20 years ago. So we have come a very long way, and we have a long way to go. What I'm very, very satisfied about today is that the relationship with India has reached a certain level of consensus, both in the United States and within our own country. I think there is definitely, we are happy with the fact that on both sides of the political aisle, you have strong support for an India-US relationship in the US. And in India itself also, I think there are very few, let's say, opinions that would, voice any reservations on the way the relationship is going. Because the relationship is based on mutual trust, mutual confidence, and mutual benefit. And on mutual benefit, you can see already the technology aspect of it, the initiative on technology, the ICET aspect of it. And I think if you look at trade, I mean, it's also shooting up both in services and in goods. Most important is the people-to-people ties. I think you have a 4 million strong Indian origin community in the US that is a vital link between us and the United States. And you have US companies that are investing very heavily in India, and they're very bullish on India. So whether you talk about
Tesla is coming.
Tesla is one part of it, but there is hardly any major US company that doesn't have an office in India, doesn't have its R&D network or labs in India, is not doing research and development, and is not involved in being part of India's development and India's future. So that is the very good thing, that US Inc., that means the US private sector, is strongly optimistic about India's growth story, is also helping that growth story by its own involvement and participation in it financially and otherwise, and in terms of technology, as I said. And I think it's very important as we develop, as the Prime Minister's vision of an Atmanirbhar Bharat, an India that is self-sufficient, that is not reliant unduly on countries in terms of its vital supply chains. If you look at the semiconductor policy of developing a semiconductor ecosystem in India, developing the API for pharmaceuticals, and I think all of this is, the active pharmaceutical ingredients. All of this is very important to stabilize our own supply chains and to ensure that we are as independent as possible in the key areas of our economy. So we are, and of course, we are also concluding a number of free trade and preferential trade agreements with trusted partners. So it's supply chains, it's technology, it is also, market access, and all of this, whether it's trade or technology, is feeding into that process that will bring us, enable us to springboard into a developed economy by 2047. You mentioned the Quad. I think the Indo-Pacific and the Quad are also very, very important to the United States. You will recall that President Biden took pains to convene a meeting of the Quad leaders to explain that despite Ukraine, his focus on the Indo-Pacific will not falter. US is committed to an Indo-Pacific policy and to ensuring that the involvement of itself and some of the partner countries will continue. And India, as you can see, has been very, very robust in its approach in being the